everyone. Welcome to this episode of Eat Positive, Be Positive podcast. I'm your host, Jen Matney. I'm a holistic nutritionist living on the South Shore of Massachusetts. I work collaboratively with individuals to identify their health concerns and create a personalized plan to begin their journey to health. I remain deeply committed to educating individuals on health-building foods and lifestyle practices that support their personal choices and well-being. In the Eat Positive, Be Positive podcast, I'll be focusing on the many facets of nutrition, food, health, and wellness, sharing information from my clinical experience, my personal life experience, and what I'm currently studying. Let's go! Quickly, before we begin, please keep in mind this podcast is meant for educational purposes only and should never be used as a replacement for medical diagnosis or medical treatment. Any listener with existing medical problems should consult with an integrative, functional, or medical doctor. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Eat Positive, Be Positive podcast. How is everyone? Things are going really well over here. I can barely contain myself. I really want to share some exciting news with all of you. I'm really excited to announce I will be providing a holistic nutrition series of lectures at Be Well Studios in Scituate. Tomorrow, April 9th, is our open house to see who in the community might be interested. Then we'll begin the 6-week series on April 23rd, and it'll be every Tuesday for the following 6 weeks. We'll be covering all the basics such as eating to build your health, high-quality proteins and fats, nutrient-dense carbohydrates, how to lose weight with your diet, eating to support food allergies, as well as eating sustainably. We'll be exploring all of these wonderful themes and trying out new, nutrient-dense recipes along the way. So if you're looking for a way to get back on track or lose some weight before the weather warms up, then this program is made for you. Head over to my social media, Instagram and Facebook specifically, for more information. Just a quick note, this program is currently only available in person at Be Well Studios. However, I would love to conduct such a program online for all of my listeners who might be outside of, say, commuting distance by a state or two. Let me know if you, dear listeners, would love that idea or would want to participate. I've been looking over the technology and trying to learn some new ways to communicate over the internet, but I would love to hear what you all would want as well. So if you're interested, let me know, 1, if you are interested, 2, what types of online communication you know or would be comfortable using, as well as 3, what price would most fit comfortably in your budget. Like I say in every intro, my greatest passion in life is educating everyone about nutrition and how to build their health. Before we jump into our topic today, I'd like to share with you all some of my personal truth as an emotional eater. For me, emotional eating was a learned behavior. I grew up in the Midwest, surrounded by women who used foods to celebrate or cope with any hardship. Food has always been, and likely always will be, a solace for me, a safe place, and sometimes also a negative coping skill. To me, this is where emotional eating gets interesting or ironic even. We have to eat food to survive. Unlike other addictive substances that people turn to in emotional or triggering moments of life, we need food on a daily basis. So food has to also be a positive coping skill. And this is where the lines can get blurred and recovery can be incredibly difficult for emotional eaters. In any case, my emotional eating was a spur, along with my other health conditions, to receive training in holistic nutrition. While I've increased my knowledge and I've improved my relationship with food, emotional eating remains in the shadows of my life, always lurking. And I'm acutely aware of the hold food has over me on a daily basis, even while knowing I have to eat food to survive. And I will say, it does get better. For those of you currently in the grips of severe emotional eating, there is light at the end of the tunnel. I won't say I'll someday be cured of emotional eating. It's a part of me, and it likely always will be. But I have moved along in my health journey to the point where I'm aware of my stressors and my triggers to emotionally eat. And I've gained enough other positive coping skills. I've gained necessary self-awareness of how foods affect me and what I really want to be putting into my body for my health. When I talk about specific plans or recommendations here on Eat Positive, Be Positive podcast, it's because I've used these tools in my health journey with emotional eating or my other health conditions. These tools have brought me closer and closer to success with my emotional eating. Emotional eating recovery is a long health journey full of great strides and some setbacks, but it is incredibly worth it for you, for your mental health, for your physical health. As a fellow emotional eater, I see you. I see the pain you're experiencing, and I honor that. Now let's move on to our topic today. Today we're diving into some healing strategies to manage our emotional eating. Making a plan of action can be one of the most powerful tools with emotional or overeating. One of my preferred books on this topic is called The End of Overeating by Dr. David Kessler. In the book, he offers a plan for managing disordered or emotional eating. We'll be going over 4 specific actions from his plan to prepare emotional eaters to overcome their worst food habits. Step 1 is to create a meal plan. Now, this is an incredibly important first step because it helps to create order and intention out of the chaos of our emotional eating. Put simply, planned eating creates structure in your life. Without structure, you put yourself at the mercy of your emotional cravings. And these cravings wreak havoc on your mind, popping up relentlessly until you cave in. Choosing a meal plan allows you to identify specific foods you will and will not consume. So do some research and try out some different options before choosing your own individual meal plan. Or I also recommend you meet with a holistic nutrition consultant you trust and choose a meal plan with them that works for you. Step number 2 is called Choose Just Right Foods. Now, according to Dr. Kessler's book, eating just right means choosing food in appropriate quantities. When I speak with clients or loved ones, portion sizes tend to be at the root of emotional eating or overeating. Remember my food mantra 85-15? This mantra allows for eating foods that won't necessarily build our health 15% of the time. So we can build in foods to our meal plans that don't necessarily build us up. But what I find with emotional eaters is not that they eat guilty pleasure foods some of the time. Instead, they binge or overeat those guilty pleasure foods all at once when feeling overly emotional or triggered by something in their lives. So proper portion sizes will help to curb emotional or overeating. If this sounds really overwhelming or potentially stress-inducing, don't get caught in the mental anguish of portioning out every single food. Instead, find specific meals and snacks that fit your portion size and add them to your meal plan. Then you'll have a whole bank of foods that you can eat at different meal times or snack times. Step number 3 is choosing satisfying foods. scientific research shows satiety or feeling our hunger to be satisfied plays a specific and significant role in emotional overeating. Much of today's processed food is not satiating, and it allows us to overeat. In fact, some of the most inflammatory ingredients of processed foods are also addictive in nature. The salt, sugar, fat, and artificial sweeteners of processed foods can really spur us to eat more and more. This is why nutrient-dense whole foods are so important to consume. Focus on building a meal plan with your favorite quality proteins and healthy fats, as these foods will help to fill you up. Add your favorite veggies and complex carbohydrates for fiber, vitamins, and minerals to keep you full all day long. All right, now we're to the last step, step number 4, which is mentally prepare for cues. Remember, emotional eating is a journey of ups and downs. Emotional eaters will often experience the pull of food even after completing steps 1 through 3. In order to achieve sustainable change in your lifestyle, it's important to find what physical, mental, or emotional triggers lead you to emotionally overeat. Sit down and make a list of foods and situations and emotions that make you feel at a loss to control. Making this list can take some time, some self-awareness, and some serious emotional energy. So be gentle with yourself and positive all along the way. Once you've identified what triggers you to overeat, you want to focus intently on diminishing, omitting, or resolving these life cues. The journey will always be full of ups and downs, so keep your chin up and keep moving forward. Before we finish up for today, I'd like to repeat something I mentioned last week. Emotional eating is not easy. If you feel like you need help, reach out to a therapist who can help you understand your emotions and cope without food. Reach out to a nutrition consultant who can guide you in eating foods to build your health and support your emotional well-being. And reach out to a fitness professional who can help you build a movement plan, increasing your endorphins and supporting your emotional health. You're not alone, and you can do this. This week's food for thought is self-love and eating. Now that we've explored some healing strategies to manage emotional eating, how is everyone feeling? Are there any changes you'd like to make in your health plan? How would you like to support yourself in moving forward in your journey with emotional eating? This is such an incredibly important topic to explore and talk about, which is a big reason why I decided to share part of my journey as an emotional eater. I think a good deal of people out there don't feel very seen or validated in their status as emotional eaters. Please feel free to comment your responses to Food for Thought and share with the Eat Positive, Be Positive podcast community. Not only will this support your own self-awareness and your own journey with emotional eating, but your honesty will send ripples of love to your fellow emotional eaters. If you have any questions about this topic or any of the topics we've explored on Eat Positive, Be Positive podcast, please email me at eatpositivebepositive@gmail.com. Last week, I mentioned the launch month giveaway would be ending and that the winner would be chosen and announced on this week's episode. So I'm so excited to announce the winner is Courtney from Indiana. Congratulations to Courtney, and thank you to all of you who entered the giveaway. Don't despair if you didn't win this time. I'm already cooking up ideas for Eat Positive, Be Positive podcast's next giveaway. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much to everyone listening out there. Until next time, be kind to yourself, be positive, and be well.